Good evening, welcome to the craft store, welcome to John Next Door, welcome to the Art of Craft, welcome to Crafts 2. There's so many things to put in there, isn't there? So I hope you're joining me. At the moment I can see that we've got people joining us on YouTube. I'm just waiting, there we go. I can see people joining us on Facebook as well. So if you're joining us tonight, you want to join in the conversation, you want to join in the chat, you've got questions you want to ask, then pop over to Facebook because that's where I can actually see the comments and I can actually reply and respond to them. So we've put the link on for the products. We've put those bits on there for you as well. I'll make sure that they're on YouTube as well for anyone that's watching us over on the tube. And I get this right, and I have to do, honestly, I have to make sure I get this completely right. So I do, there we go, yep. So, yeah, we're working, I think. It's taking a while, it's going slow. So what are we doing tonight? This is another brand new launch. Now, as you may or may not know, what we're doing is we are splitting the launches down into smaller chunks to make them more manageable for everyone and let everybody decide which bits they want. So no big, massive bundles, just smaller chunks. And tonight's is, again, new and exclusive. So these two products, I've got them here. I'm so excited when I get them in packaging. It's so rare that I get to see them in packaging. So these two brand new dies today are literally went out available, I think, at 1 o'clock at lunchtime, exclusively on the Art of Craft. So you are buying them directly from us. You're not sort of going through the middleman. The craft store is just hosting this show so that we can get, you know, the news out to as many people as possible. So you are buying directly from us. And the fantastic thing is, if you're in the UK, this bundle is over £20, which means that it is free postage and packaging. So you're talking free postage and packaging if you go for this bundle, and it is just £38.69. I've got Jackie saying she's watching us while she's cooking, but she's already ordered. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you to everyone who's already ordered. I believe of this main bundle, again, I feel really bad because I'm saying this all the time, over half of the main bundle has already gone in people getting it in their baskets before we go live. And the last collection and the collection before did sell out. The scalloped FrameMaker Circle did sell out completely as a bundle. And I think the flower's gone. I think there's only one of the dies left. There's like 3 of them or something silly. So that's why I'm talking about this. Julie Warlow said purchase made. Who else has said that? Sorry, Biddy said that. Loads of people. So thank you if you have got it. I am going to talk you through. I'm going to demo it. Moira's already ordered. Janice Phyllis has already ordered. Susan Mickelbatch is Linda, everyone's ordered. Thank you so much. These are really exciting. I love these. I love the whole concept of the FrameMaker. And what I want to do is it makes our card making so simple and so elegant. I want to grab just one from the back, which is made with the first one I'm going to go through. This is the sample I did for the packaging. This to me looks like one of the most complicated die cuts to do. Can you imagine? You couldn't even do this with nesting dies. Nesting dies don't exist that give you this scalloped shape. Yeah. So, Michael says him and Shirley, the wife, are looking forward to seeing me in Doncaster. I can't wait for Doncaster next week. So this looks really complicated. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5 die cuts. That whole card is made with 5 die cuts, and they are all just slapped down and cut because they're so easy. So we've got 2 die sets in here in this bundle. The first one is the 6x6, and it is exactly 6x6. You know me and maths, it has to be correct. So this is exactly 6x6 inches. And this is a scalloped FrameMaker, and it has scallops on both sides, but I'll show you when we get to the boards because there's so much you can do with this one. So this is your scalloped FrameMaker. If you're wanting this one on its own, you can get this one on its own for just £21.99. But do wait, because there is a bigger bundle that you might want to get if you've not got our brilliant mathematically correct nesting squares. So that is that. It's available on its own, but the important one is the bundle, to be honest. The second one in here is the tapestry frame maker. Now, this is me, so there is a story behind this, because there is always with me a story behind everything I'm doing. And basically, when I made my first ever die set, I did it, and it had got this little pattern in here, and I'll show you again on the boards. But it had got this little pattern in it there. And what I did was I cut it 4 times, and then I got a knife and I cut it in the middle, and I kind of wound it out. And Jane said to me, will you be doing, why don't you do a die of that? We're now 8 years later, and I finally made a die of it. Because you see that little cross line in the middle? That's what cuts you across, so you can now fold out your pieces. I was reminded when I saw a card from our beautiful Carol Bignell, who's one of our angels, that she made a few months ago, and I thought, oh, I didn't do that. I need to do that die. So that's your second one. I am going to run through. There is a bigger bundle that you can get. So making sure that I get the graphics right on this one. There is a bigger bundle you can get, and that has both of this. And this is a crazy one, because this saves you £10. Oh, Nicola Leishman's just said she's got that first set of dies. Thank you, Nicola. Bless you. You're going to get the massive, and the biggest square in this is 8 by 8. So you're talking 8 by 8 inches. The smallest square is 1/4 of an inch. There's 32 dies in here, and basically, let me show you the list on the back. They go every single 1/4 inch, from 1/4 inch to 8 inches. So these match with all of these perfectly. So you can see they're 6 by 6, but you can see that, you know, you've got the exact, so the die is 6 by 6. If you want your own mat for it, layers, everything, it works so well. Excuse me. Oh, Azina said she ordered at 1 and she's finally managed to get the craft store working on Facebook. Well, thank you, Zena. Thank you, everyone who's watching and loving these. So you're going to get all of those, and you're going to get the 2 brand new ones. This is an exclusive bundle. Now, it's £57.99, but you are saving £10. This should be £67.99. So you're saving £10. So effectively, you're getting that set so cheap. Literally, these are supposed to be 22 and 21 effectively. So that's that 43. So you're getting that £25 set for about £15-16. So if you haven't got that set, or like me, you want another, I've got 2 of these. I don't know why, I just have one for here and one to go away. And because look, I lose squares now and again, so I always put them together. You can get those. So I'm going to move you over onto the boards, because I want to take you through the dies and what you're going to get and how these work. So let's bring in, first of all, our scalloped frame maker. So this one, as I said, if you want this one on its own, you can get this one on its own. It's £21.99 on its own, but they work together. Oh, Sam Jane Ankerson Grove said she stopped by to the stand at Bracknell. Say hi to the girls and Mark. Oh, thank you. They will appreciate that. They really, really do. So again, if you want this one on its own, but when you're talking £38 something and change for both, you might as well get both. But again, you know, it's up to you what you want. So in this set, you're going to get your scalloped frame maker. And what I wanted to show you that's so different about this one is, if you had my previous sort of scallop nesting dies, yeah, what happens is all of the scallops are on the outside. So all you'll ever have is the outside. This idea here of reversing them, as you can see here, that doesn't exist. So you wouldn't be able to make this frame at all with any dies. This cannot be made. Yeah, it's simple. Oh, Marion went and did the make and take. Oh, I hope you enjoyed the make and take. Our Penny's lovely on there. So you cannot make this, but of course there's inserts. So you've got 4 inserts that work perfectly with this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of them separately. So each of them separate. And remember, guys, there's 4 videos already on YouTube showing you, and I will be putting another one up next week of showing you weaving with this one, because this is, I've got to say this. Jackie, you can order on the link I'm just putting on. Jackie's just asked, where can you order from? You order from the link from the Art of Craft, or just go to the Art of Craft. I will show you the website in a few minutes. Remember, these aren't available anywhere else at all. So they are only available here at this precise moment. This is the only place you can get them. So you've got your 4 inserts. Then you've got an outside line with a stitch detail to keep in with all those leaves and flowers recently that I've just been doing with all the flowers and leaves I've been doing, so it matches in. Then you've got this die, and this gives you, it's like a tartan. Because large, small, large, small, large, small, with the stitch detail again in it. Cuts beautifully, but let me show you the boards, because you're going to see far more when I show you that. So you've got, there is your plain. Good evening, Andrea, and she's saying hello to the cavers, because those people who join me on Craft Cave Live, which on a Wednesday at 7 o'clock on John Next Door Official, we call ourselves the cavers, because you're all joining me, as you are tonight, inside my craft cave. So you can do it plain, or you can put those inserts in, and of course you get then that beautiful patterned frame. But then this is the piece that comes away, that's the waist. This is just beautiful to me. So this is your waist piece. Again, a completely different shape you won't get anywhere else. There's no other die that does that shape. But that's just the first sort of board. Then, of course, you've got those inserts. So they will work this beautiful sort of flower design. They'll work all the way around on their own in a card. Can you imagine just stamping something in there, or putting a beautiful Lavinia scene or something in there? Good evening, Bobby Chalmers. I haven't seen your name for ages. You probably have been on and I haven't seen it because I don't see everyone. Or you can put them like that in a row, or you can put them across. You can do so much with those inserts. That's your square with the stitching on. Just love that. But of course, then you've got your panel. That will cut in like this, and it will give you a beautiful pattern. Rotate it, you get the tartan. You can thread ribbon through it and all sorts of things. Oh, Alison says, oops, they fell into a basket. Sorry, Alison. This is when you cut out with that square. So, of course, you could fit that on top. But these are the waist pieces. Oops, that one's not glued right. But doesn't that look like a barcode? But, of course, you can drop alternate colours in. There's so much you can do with these centres. They are absolutely crazy. I've got to show you these 2 here from our Leslie, where what she's done, she's used the previous collection. Would the inserts fit the other frame makers in the past, Erica? Yes, they do. Our Erica asked that one. These inserts will fit nearly all of them from this sort of 5-inch upwards. So yes, they will fit all of them. So there, Leslie's done a weave with it. Here, she's paper pieced and repeated it, because it's a die you can repeat. So it will fit in all your previous sort of collections and things that you can do. There's another one, and I don't know where I've put it now, because I'm going to, oh, there we go. I've got to show this one. This is so clever. Leslie's threaded real ribbon through it. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. And you can see here where she's used the squares, the plain squares, to create herself her own mat, and then the plain squares for the mats and layers, so everything fits mathematically. That's what I absolutely love about this. So that is your very first die, and that is your scalloped FrameMaker die set. If I move on now to our second one, which I called Tapestry, because it looks like a tapestry. And this one, I think, is, again, I know I'm supposed to, I'm going to say, oh, they're so clever. This one, I think, is clever. So you've got here a FrameMaker that's plain, but this is 5 3/8 by 5 3/8 inches. So it's not the same size as any of the others. It will match in with the others completely and absolutely perfectly. So it will go in situ with them. I think I've got here is, where are we? There we go. So this was the smaller one, look. So it fits perfectly with the 5-inch. It fits as an extra layer on the 6-inch. It's designed to work with all of them. But again, then you've got those inserts so you can get that beautiful pattern all the way around. And what I have done is the inserts fit on both. So there are the inserts that come with the scalloped FrameMaker, with the scallop. There are the inserts from the tapestry FrameMaker, fit again on that scallop, and they will mix and match together. So you could do this and all of this with the beautiful pattern that's inside there as well. So designed to work together. And of course you get a piece in the middle. So all those patterns. The next bit is the clever bit. And that is this die. So I'll pull you this die in. So you see in here, you get the FrameMaker. You get your 4 inserts. But you also get 4 central inserts that can work like this and be 4 corners like that, or can work like that together and make a perfect square, or use that die and that will then give you this, where basically it peels out, it opens out. So you can see, goes in exactly and opens out, or you can use it plain like this. Yeah. Ruth said she's bought the bundle as well. She's constantly used the square dies. No point in putting them away as they have to come back out. Yeah, they sit on Leslie's wall. And Leslie says this is her favourite collection. She actually commented it publicly on Facebook of everything this year. So you can see there you've got that peel out. So you can make the most beautiful cards and samples. I've got to show some of these. Look at this. This is how Leslie, look what she's done is she's made it like a little basket and tucked it into the flower to secure it. How clever is that? Or the one from the packaging, just where they're sort of but it's still rolled. It's rolled out. Or the one I've made from the video. Yeah, again rolled out. This is one of our carols where she's just opened it as if the paper's tearing to show you a pattern made with the centre from the scalloped. Love this. Done in vellum. Again, this is our Leslie. She's done this in vellum and then put decoupage roses in the middle. And again, look, these will close and close over it if you want to, but just curl out. Such a clever idea. Absolutely love this. I know that's what I'm supposed to say, but there's so much you can do with this one die set. But if you manage to get both of them, the combinations that you can make with them are absolutely crazy. But also remember, if like a few people have commented, will we be bringing these to Doncaster at the weekend? I believe so, Julia. It depends on stock. I'm not going to sort of lie to you. I think it depends on stock. But usually Jane tries to put some away so that there is some at Doncaster. But if it's anything like Bolton, we did not have a lot of it. So it's a case of get to the stand early. So if you want to have all 32 dies in the squares as well, then you can get that for just £57.99, which will give you the whole set. But also, if you've already gone for that and you're thinking, oh, I quite fancy the squares, I've got a few missing in here. I need to neaten it. Oh, there we go. I did get another one. I knew I had. You can get the 2 matching sets. So you can get, for just £38.69, the full 32 dies in the plain squares, all mathematically correct. And then what we call our stitch dot, and I'll show you there, it gives you a stitch and a dot square that go intermix with these. So you're getting basically 2 A4 sheets of metal in this bundle for £38.69, which is crazy because something that is 8 inches wide you are paying £40 for. Anything A4 you're paying £40 for. So if you wanted those, you can get those. But what we've also got on tonight, and I wanted to show you this one, is we have put the card on as well. So I'm going to be using, and I used in quite a few of my demos, the cards. If you're wanting something to add into your basket, this works out at less than 30p a sheet. This is the beautiful canvas card in the soft blues. And this is just $11.68 for 40 sheets, 10 of each. You see the beautiful texture on these. I've been using them a lot in everything recently, but certainly a lot of the memory box stuff that I've been doing, because it works so well. We've even put the coconut white card on there. So we have put the coconut white card on there. One thing, lots of people are talking about Doncaster. We will be launching in Doncaster, we will be launching exclusively there, the Christmas collection. Now, if you're going to Doncaster and you haven't got your tickets left, I have 2 free tickets. So the first person to message me, private message me on John Next Door official page and tell me they want these 2 tickets, we will leave these on the door for you because we can't get them posted to you in time. But I have 2 tickets. If you want 2 tickets for Doncaster, private message me and we will leave them on the door for you. So let's go back to this first bundle and let's actually show you what we do and how easy this is to work and cut. So I'm going to bring in the card I've got ready. So I've got a piece of our coconut white card here, and I wanted to show you just how easy these FrameMakers cut, because they genuinely do. So I've got those cut, there we go. So all you have to do is slap it down. Now I know with something like this, with the scallops, you're going to think that this is going to be a difficult cut. It's really not, and this is why I want to cut it on air, because you think, oh no, that's going to be terrible. So I'm going to run this one through and just run that. Susan, please save some for Lincoln in October. I don't think the guys will be they're not able to save the stock. If it does sell out today and at Doncaster, that will be it, I'm afraid. I don't want to promise something that I know they can't deliver. They can't save stock for sort of like 3 months, I'm afraid. You see here, look, there's that beautiful middle square. And just to show you, that square is a perfect 4-inch square. So if you get the squares, you could cut the 4-inch square, which is really easy because June's done, and if anyone needs these, let us know and we'll get them emailed to you, but they're in the group. So 4-inch square is die number 17. So if I grab die number 17, that will give me the perfect square to fit on that. So everything as thing. John Lockwood, I need 3 tickets for Donny. Right, Julia, I've got 2 and you can have them. So message me after the show. I don't have 3, I only have 2, but you are more than welcome to have them. So you see there, look, every single bit is cut. Absolutely every bit straight out of the die. And as I said, this is a frame that you couldn't make any other way. You really, really couldn't. So there's my frame. I've got a spare piece. So what I want to do now is I'm going to use the next die in the set. So I'm going to take a little bit of the blue. I'm going to take the other FrameMaker and just stick that on and cut that again to show you how good they go. Oh, Leslie said she ordered the butterflies last night so that they can sit on the flowers and the hat. Oh, that will look beautiful, Leslie. Now, I'm running this through, but I have already cut one. So I've just cut here, and this is the tapestry FrameMaker. Yeah. So I'm just taking off a little bit of foam tape. But what I've tried to do, and I'm going to bring the camera down to show you, I've made this as easy as I can because matching it up is really simple. Look, there's a square corner in each corner. And that's all you have to do. Match those square corners and then you've got the perfect frame. Just to show you again, look, of course, that peels out. That's how easy these are to cut. They really are. Oh, Linda would love to go to Doncaster, but I live down south. I feel very sorry for the people who sort of, you know, can't go to some of these. The big shows up north just seem to be, I don't know, really good. Hopefully Sandown might suit you, Linda, but I don't think that's till February time again now. Sorry. The waist looks like spider's web for Halloween. Nice idea, our Erica. But look, can you see the actual waist from one fits perfectly on the waist from the second one. Yeah. So Julie Warlow, any stags coming for Christmas? There is only currently one design that has some stags in it. However, this morning I was designing a late Christmas launch that we're going to put out probably late September, early October. And it's going to be, and there are some stags in that, I promise you. There's like if it gets passed, there's a beautiful stag patchwork sort of dye that will make patchwork with it. So, oh, and I'm so sorry, Carol needs another op on her foot. Oh, I'm so sorry, Carol. You need to message me and let me know what's going on. And Susan Mickelbatch, missed last night, but watched it on catch-up, so missed out on the bees again. I'm really sorry. That's why we say to you, watch the shows, because they fly. So it's best if you can to watch the shows, because everything does really, really fly. So there's our piece. So now I'm going to put a middle into it. So I've already cut myself one of the centres, but you see exactly how that works. So I want to show you a sort of almost like a faux tartan look with this. Yeah, so that's going straight onto the white, but oh, it's white onto white. That's a bit much. So I'm going to swap to this lighter blue colour. Oh, that's better. That we've got in that card pack. That's why I love our canvas card packs, because you're going to actually get 10 sheets of each of 4 colours that coordinate perfectly, so you don't have to worry. So all we have to do is pop that roughly in the middle. I'm going to take that down and cut that. Oh, Susan says, shows up north, nothing further than Doncaster. I know there's a lot of land further than Doncaster. I am sorry, Sandra. It's because everyone I work with works down south, and they think of anything past Watford Gap as the north. So they talk about how many shows are up north. There's not a lot up north either. There's not as many shows as there used to be. So you see here, all those pieces just peel out so easily. So keep those strips for weaving. Yeah? So keep those strips for weaving and for doing other projects or dropping it in. Watch the videos, and the videos show you different ways to do this. So here I've got a piece of card. Again, another one of those, so the same blue as I did the framing, from that card pack. So it is, you know, if you struggle with coordinating your colours, these card packs are absolutely worth it. You're going to get 40 sheets. I mean, I'd normally pay, when they used to do this sort of texture, I think it was Brazil, it was like nearly £1 a sheet. These work out at just about 30 or 33p a sheet, because you're going to get, for your 1168, you're going to get 40 sheets, 10 of each colour. But you can see they're designed to coordinate together absolutely perfectly. So what I want to do is I'm going to take my light blue. For speed, I'm going to take some spray glue. And all I'm going to do is match this corner with this corner and rotate it. And look, match that corner and that corner, match that corner and that corner. Perfect. You've almost got a tartan because it's wider and narrower. But look what happens when I put that on another colour. Suddenly we've got 3 colours working in different directions, just the way. I know that this... What's the colour of the card I'm using? Margaret Dixon, what's the colour of the card you're using, John? As I missed what you said. I'm using everything from the card colour you see on screen. So I'm using 2 of the blues. I'm using the sort of mid blue and a sort of soft blue, all from that pack. So they are basically from the pack. So just put a little bit of glue around. And if anyone's been wondering, our glue is now back in stock. So the glue is now available and back in stock if anyone missed out on that. It's finally, after 6 months, come back. It actually sold out at the end. I think it sold out before the end of last year. But it's now come back in. But can you see what I have done is, I don't want to spray glue this and I don't want to glue these down. That little bit of space there gives a shadow. So you can see, I'll show you forward, look. Can you see you're getting a shadow and it looks more 3D? If you glue it completely flat, it doesn't have the excitement, but of course it doesn't get any higher. So then all I have to do, is to take my FrameMaker, and again, I've made sure that all of the frames that we do are wide enough to take your foam tape so you don't have to cut it down, because that to me is so boring. And then take a little bit of foam tape like that, peel that one off, just take the backing off, and I'm just going to then go look down from the top and frame it up. But you can see why I put that extra colour of blue in, because it's got so much detail and looks so 3D. But look, it's actually really thin. It is only 4mm thin. Our Karen says, got loads of your glue, John, might last me a day or two. I think she did what I did and ordered 12. I've got 12 behind me. Carol Byers, will your glue stick like gilding flakes? It won't, Carol. You need a special glue to stick gilding flakes. You need something like the flitter glue from Indigo Blue. It is a special glue. So, and Andrea says, John, where is Sam? Sam's in the house. So I've just heard the car come back. Sam's come back. He's in the house. It gets too warm in here with both of us, where the weather is at the moment, to be honest. So on there, and I've just matted and layered it on some more of that beautiful blue. Just make sure it's a top fold. And then what I've done is, this is where the squares come in. This is why it's worth getting the squares if you haven't got them. And that's because I've been able to cut myself a perfect 2-inch square in blue, so it fits with the sizing of this frame. And then I've got the perfect 1 3/4 inch die to fit on with the sentiment stamped on it, so it fits exactly and perfectly in the middle. So just a little bit of foam tape. But again, this is why it's important to have mathematically correct dies. That's why I designed the first ever mathematically correct dies, because look, I can then match it to stripes. So there you go. You see, it's exactly in the same place on the light blue, white and white. So it fits, because of course all these stripes are done in maths as well, because you know how boring I am. You know, absolutely, you know, terrible for that. And then all I've done, and I wanted to show this, I've made up some flowers with the stitched dogwood. These are available on the website, but it shows you that stitching is the same as this. And then I've cut out, these are the shadow leaves in that softer blue from the middle. So I'm just going to take a little bit, again, because these are big leaves, so I don't want to use my, I don't need to use my glue glaze. I want these to really stick. So it's using the right glue for the right job. So all I'm going to do is go over this top left hand corner with one set, go over the top bottom right hand corner with that second set, and then I'm going to use a toothpick and our 3D glue gel. So there we go, a little bit of 3D glue gel, the perfect thing. So you can see how all of the colours coordinate perfectly, and that's what we wanted to achieve with the card pack. So I'm going to lift that leaf and get that one under that leaf there perfectly, and then do the same. So we can turn this, everyone goes blues, ooh, must be men's card. Not necessarily, you know. And again, I would put flowers on a man's card. I genuinely would, and I do, and everyone appreciates it. You know, men's cards do not have to just be about hobbies and things like that. You can make really pretty cards for them. But you can see there, really quickly and simply, there we've got, I'm going to hold this one up, just using that bundle. And I have used the squares as well. So if you want the one with the squares, it is £57.99, but you're saving £10. But if you want just the scalloped and the tapestry FrameMaker, then you can get that for £38.69. But you can see there, that's why I say go for the card. because that's using 3 of those 4 shades of card. But I would really struggle myself to find 4 shades that I could do that with and really mix and match. And I've added a little bit of glitter with some glue glaze in the center of the flowers as well. That's what's sparkling. I've not put something magical on there. I haven't, I promise you. So I'm just going to give myself a little bit of a second to tidy up, although I'm not really doing that. I'm going to show you the website. So if you click through the link that's on there, or you simply visit theartofcraft.co.uk, it will take you to this page here. So let's get to the right page. There we go. So it will take you to this page here, which is the craft store for today, the 6th of July. And as I said, all of these, this is the only place you can get these from. So there you've got our first bundle, our tapestry frame maker at £38.69. But if you just fancy the scalloped frame maker, you can get that on its own at £21.99, which is a really good price for a 6x6 die. If you want just the tapestry frame maker, you love that beautiful opening centre, you can get that for just £20.99 on its own. As we've been saying, if you want to get the 2 with the plain squares, I mean, £67.96 down to £57.99. It's absolutely crazy. So you can get those. Or if you've already got the bundle and you're thinking, I wish I'd got the squares, you can get the plain squares and the stitched dot squares for £38.69, which again is crazy. And I know that £42.98 is not what they normally are. They're normally £24.99. So I think you're saving over £10 on that one. There's the blue card. Coconut white card, you see, I'll always use. I ordered this week. I had, was it 20 packs or 25 packs I ordered? And if you wanted the stitched dot squares on their own, or the plain nesting squares, I told you they were £24.99 each. You can get those on their own. So there's lots and lots of different options that you can get on there. And basically to match with whatever your budget is. So whatever you think your budget is, then you can get that. So let's bring in, and let's bring you back to me. Bring you back to that bundle. No, I've not brought you back to me. I've brought you back to the wrong place because I'm daft. So let's make sure and see if it's working. It is, yay! So what I thought I would do is I want to show you how that opening centre works and some of the different sort of combinations. So what I've already done is I've already cut those 4 panels from that die. I've already cut them into a square of card. So I've taken here a 5.5 by 5.5 inch square of card, and remember, if you wanted to, you can use the squares to do that one. Good evening, our lovely Helen. Oh, these dies make it so easy to produce a fabulous looking card with minimum effort. Leslie, that is the best, I think, review I've ever had. I want to keep that, copy that and put that onto the website, because that's what I'm aiming for. And if that's what I'm getting, then I'm really happy. So this is easy to do because look, but this is covered in the videos. So the videos do cover these. So just go onto YouTube and you can do it. But literally all I do is place these 4 together and glue the corners. Yeah. So glue the dies first. That's why I love our tape, because it sticks to metal so well. So I'm going to glue those 2 together, or tape those 2 together. I'm then going to tape the last one in place. So I tape those 2 together. You're effectively creating your own die with this. And then we just bring those 2 together. So you don't need to know maths. If you've got dies, you don't need to know maths. It's all done for you. And then we just place that down on our card and cut that. And I will run it through so that you can see that it does cut, and that if we have to rotate it, etc. So let's place that down in the middle of the card, slightly off camera. I'd spend a little bit more time getting this in the right place in the card, to be honest, but there we go. So I wanted to show you. So that's our centre done. Yeah. Leslie says that's why she sent in 1 million samples. She did. I will run through some of the samples, but please have a look at the gallery that our Sammy put on Facebook earlier. Because it's gorgeous, and there's so many. There's like 50 samples of it. But you see how, I think that is just beautiful on its own. That could simply have a couple of flowers and some leaves added to it and go. You know, that could go and work straight away as a card, in my view. So you've got options of doing things like that and having something in the middle. So it works really well just like that. But what I want to do is I wanted to do the sort of the opening. So I was going to show you, just to show you, look, every single bit of those 4 dies have cut. And there's loads of little bits in here. So this is where I use my brush remover. Literally, instead of sitting there and poking each bit out, every tool has a reason. And this is why I use the brush one, or when I use it. So although I am welded to my 4-in-1 tool, there are tools that I've got, because look, now I've got to get out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. I've got to take 6 out. But you can see you've got a perfect square because the dies have done it for you. That's the whole idea. So let's just clean down my mat, because I trekked myself, which I keep being told is a South Yorkshire word, but I'm sticking to it. It's supposed to mean treated, which doesn't sound right. But I trekked myself to a new mat because I'd really started to poke. I'd cut it so many times by forgetting things. So how do we actually do the opening twist? Well, this could not genuinely be easier. All we do, a piece of card can be anything, would work wonderfully well on double-sided. It would work so well on double-sided card. I've got that one wrong, sorry. So you could see both colours. So all I'm going to do is place that in the middle of that piece of card. I'm just going to tape it down loosely at the top, and then take, and again, this is where I use my brush. So right tool, right job. Really is right tool, right job. So I place 1 in, and there's no set place. It's not like, oh, there's die number 1, there's die number 2, there's die number 3, there's die number 4. Each one of them is the same. So we place it again evenly into that cross, and we just tape it down. We take the next one. But I want to show you how quick this, I've got one already cut, obviously, but I wanted to show you how quickly these cut. So then goes number 3. Question, will there be any more card bundles coming out as it makes choosing colour combinations? To be honest with you, Helen, we haven't got any plans at the moment, simply because we've gone through every colour family we could think of, and we've already covered yellows off in our essential card. So unless we say, right, we're going to need some, you know, we need new greens or something, there aren't any plans at the minute, because we don't want to do that. We don't want to say, oh, buy all these 10 different colour packs, and then, oh, next month, oh, and then buy the next 10, because they're all too close. So really, it fills out, it gives you 40 colours, and we really think that's enough. So unless there's someone invents a new colour, which I think could be a little bit difficult, but then there aren't any plans. Sorry, you know me, I could waffle for ages. So that one's cutting through. Here's one I've already cut. So you can see what it does is each pattern is cut, but look, it cuts it in the middle. Yeah? So it cuts it in the middle. Oh, and Mountjoy dropped her 4-in-1 tool with the top off, and it's stuck in my foot. Oh, bless you. Never craft barefoot or with open-toed sandals. But just to show you again, every bit's cut. And look, yay, I love that. That split is in there, and it hasn't split the outside. I hope you're all right, Anne. So I'm going to go on with this one. So all I want to do is, if I want a big open roll, I take my 4-in-1 tool, take a corner, and just roll it up to the edge. And like I'm rolling pastry, forward and back. Yep. If I want a fine one, I use something like a paintbrush. I don't on this one, but I would roll it over the paintbrush. So over my 4-in-1 tool, because this is never out of my hands, just like Nicola. Our Nicola said hers is never out of her hands. So just roll it like a bit of pastry. This is why you need good card, because this doesn't warp, crack, fold, anything when you do this. Take the next one. Again, roll it on your 4-in-1 tool, forward and back, yeah? Like toast, it just had to fall point down, says our Anne. I'm so sorry, Anne. If it makes you feel any better, I mean, I cut my thumb and then I've cut it again. I've got virtually no feeling left in here. I keep doing that. I'm terrible. There we go. Nicola says she doesn't craft barefoot because she has to walk through the garden to get to a craft space. Yeah, I have to walk through my garden, which is all stones, to get to the craft cave. So no, I can't come in without shoes. Plus it's a concrete floor. So there's our opening section. And we can have that as open or as closed as we want. So I'm going to add that on to that panel there. So I just see that little, like a double working of pink in there. I just love how this works. So I'm just going to take a little bit of foam tape, and instead of trying to crush this, I'm just going to run it on the outside of this pattern, because I know this pattern is a little bit bigger. And that saves me having to try and stick it down to that and crush those pieces that I don't want to do. So just take your tape off, just like that. And I'm going to position it following the pattern to get it nice and even. So follow the pattern, not the outside. There we go. So you can see now, look, we've got that beautiful little opening section. So of course I'll want to do a frame for this, and all I'm going to use for this is I've used the tapestry FrameMaker, but then I've used the inserts that come with the scalloped FrameMaker. Yeah, Susan Clamp, who knew crafting is an extreme sport? Oh, it definitely is. Yeah, I think we've all hurt ourselves so much. It is definitely an extreme sport. So as I said, you can see here, I've used the inserts from the larger set because they still work, because they're actually of a size to work. So look, they'll fit in that one, and they fit in the scallop. So you've got absolute mix and matchability. That's why I say, you know, go for both of them. They work together so well. So for speed, a little bit of glue, a little bit of spray glue. And then this is why I love... Oh, Erica says this design would make fantastic Christmas cards with a deer or snowman in the middle. I do love Christmas. I love Christmas, Erica. There are, for the notched frames, there are Christmas inserts coming for the notched frame makers. I've designed some special Christmas ones to work. And Julie says, some of the accidents I've had with crafting, I need body armour. So because I've got the FrameMaker, I can make the perfect die. I'm not going to lie, you can make a frame with your nesting dies, with your mathematical correct ones. Yeah, you can make a nesting, you can make a frame with those. However, keeping everything identical in the same size is so difficult that it's so much easier doing it with the FrameMaker dies. They just make it easier. So again, I'm going to take some foam tape. Can we get insurance on the cuts from cut? No, because they'd say that they basically tell us not to use it. We're breaking health and safety by doing it. I still use the scalpel I got for college at 16. Literally, I still use a scalpel. And the reason I prick my fingers is because it's blade side up in my stand. Terrible, I know. So I'm just going to put one layer of foam tape on here. Just that. I can't believe where the time is going. I really can't. So remember, there are videos for all of these dies. In fact, there's 4 videos, 2 for each die, where they're mixed and matched and everything together. And I will be using these again on Craft Cave Live on Wednesday at 7. So join me on John Next Door Official. So when you finish here tonight, go over to on Facebook, just type in John Next Door Official, like and follow the page, and you'll get reminded for all of the videos. You'll get reminded for all of the lives. So I'm just going to stick that on there like that. I've managed somehow to get a piece of scrap in between, so let's pull that one out. You can then undercut, so tip your titanium coated scissors at an angle. Don't cut down, cut it in, that way you miss the frame, just to make sure it's nice and neat and it works for you, just like that. There we go. Take those pieces off. Again, I've got a little card blank I've made here. And again, I don't want to crush that, so put the glue onto your card blank rather than working the other way. And we're just going to drop that on, just like that. And you can see there now, you've got that beautiful oak. Now you could pin those down to there. You could leave them so they're just lightly curling open. It's up to you how deep you go with that. And then I'm just going to grab some flowers that I'd already made. So just grab a couple of flowers and leaves just to show you. It's a great way to kind of protect almost your flowers and your leaves. So I'm just going to drop my leaves in the middle, just like that. Oh, there's another one come with it. And we'll just put our three little, again, I'm using the stitched dogwood because it matches that stitched pattern. But you can see there how we've just completely blocked it in, and we've done that. So I've not glued those in, so when I hold it up they're going to fold down and rattle, but I will show you held up anyway so you can see. So there, and again we could pin those back, we could glue them back, you could curl them in. There's so much you can do with this die. It really is an absolute, I think, amazing thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, I've got so many samples here because we've literally got less than 5 minutes left. I'm sure our Hayley will let me run over a little bit as we were a little late starting. So let's get out of the way. Just to show you some of the samples there. Pink and white with black. That works so, so well using those inserts as a background. So another one from our Leslie. Here's one from our Leslie again. These are going to be mostly Leslie because she's absolutely loved them. Nicola Leishman says, I'm so in love with these dies. You've outdone yourself again, John. Thank you, Nicola. Thank you. That I never know what that is. Genuinely so kind. But look how Leslie's done this with a white on white FrameMaker. And then she's put the pattern in the middle, but she's not cut it open. And then mixed it in with the squares. So she's used the plain squares. That's why it's really worth, if you can, pushing out for the plain squares or treating yourself and having the stitch dot and the plain squares. But you can see all the layers that that Leslie's been able to put in that one. Sorry. Here's one of mine from the video, I think. I'm not sure. Again, pink, grey and white. Beautiful colour combination. Another one of our Leslie's because I recognise the gems. But look at that. And she's used the notched squares, the middle from the notched sentiments to show you what you can actually, that they will match perfectly in with the notched. But I love that because what she's done is she's cut off the loops. Leslie's kind of cut off the loops, so you've not got those in the middle. Clever idea. Again, all in pink and grey. That's a video card. Another one here. And they're all going to be our Leslie, aren't they? I'm sorry, Carol, I'm trying to pick some of yours up. But like a tartan in the background in burgundy. Yeah? And then burgundy behind that pattern cut into it. Halloween, although not really, look. But this time, Leslie's cut it, but then stuck a circle in the middle to fit it. So orange and black. Love this. Again, that's my version. That's Leslie's version. I loved this card so much, I did a video of it and did my version of it. So again, that video's out there already. Again, here, mixing it together. Brown and chocolate. Absolutely love that. This one I think is beautiful. Mixing it in with your 7-inch FrameMakers. So making a whole background of that beautiful tapestry insert, and then just doing white on black, black and silver flowers, and our Leslie's hat pins that she's gone crazy for, but mixing it with her 7-inch frame makers, so it works so well. Here's one of our carols. Love that. Using half of it. What a clever idea. Using half of it and some glitter, just using one of the triangles. Beautiful. Again, another one of our carols here. Mixing it, I love this idea of putting a flower in each corner carol. Love that. And then the red with the insert on the white, and just that red and white, again, from the canvas card. One of our Leslie's in sort of peach and white. Again, absolutely gorgeous. There are more. There are so many more I could keep showing you. So I will be doing some more with that centre and with these on Craft Cave Live, which is 7 o'clock Wednesday night, every Wednesday. And that's on the John Next Door official page and the John Lockwood YouTube channel. So we go out on YouTube and you can watch all of them back from the last 3-4 months. But there, pink and grey. Love that combination. Just stripes. Oh, this one, doubling them up with blue and white. You know, absolutely fantastic. So that's I mean, there's more samples. Please have a look and you'll see some amazing samples. So to run through it, everything's available exclusively on the Art of Craft, and they are limited. So once they've gone, they've gone. So you can get both of them, the tapestry and the scalloped frame maker, for £38.69. You can get both of them and the plain squares if you want to for £57.99, saving you £10 on that one. The bundle, you're saving 10%. You can get the plain squares and the stitched dot squares, which tie together and match perfectly, for just £38.69. I think that's the cheapest we've ever done them if you're wanting just those. You can get on its own the scalloped frame maker for £21.99. You can get the tapestry frame maker for £20.99, and you can get the card I've been using tonight and in lots of the samples, which is that beautiful soft blues, for just £11.68 for 40 sheets of the 220 GSM beautiful canvas textured card. So thank you for joining me. There will be no show next Sunday night. The Christmas launch will be Monday night, and that will be on the Art of Craft Facebook. So we won't be here because I'll be in Doncaster. If you can join me in Doncaster, that'll be wonderful, because we'll be launching Christmas, the first collection. And again, it's coming in small chunks over a few weeks. It's not all coming out at once. We'll be launching that at Doncaster. And Julia messaged me about those tickets. And we'll see what we can do about that. But thank you for joining me, and I hope you can join me on Wednesday night at 6 o'clock on the Art of Craft, and if not, join me at 7 o'clock on John Next Door Official on Wednesday for another hour of just demonstrations, and I'll update you then of where and what we're launching next. But thanks for joining us, Guy. Take care. Bye.